Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you're a subscriber, you'll have seen that I've just recently been to Marrakech, and I wanted to go through and give you some hints and tips on things that I found really helpful and things that might help you as well. So when we arrived at Marrakech airport, there was a security line and it looked really big, but it was actually moving really fast. There was a number of people at the front desks and it was really smooth process. And then we just got some money before we left, as it's really hard to get this currency because it's a closed currency. And just before we left, we got a SIM card as well, just in case we needed it. We booked our holiday through Love Holidays, and we pre-booked our transfer. Even though it took us about an hour and a half to get out, Mohammed was really kindly waiting there for us. He phoned me beforehand, messaged me to give me his number, and then he was phoning me, and as soon as I got out of the plane I connected to the Wi-Fi. So that's us in our little transfer, and you can see the airport is really not far from the hotel. It's about 15 minutes, if that. We weren't in any traffic. It was a really quick journey, and for our first time here it was just beautiful. Look at all these beautiful palm trees and clean, and the first thing that hit us was the heat. We're just not used to that from coming from Scotland, but it was so nice. And this is us at our hotel, and we had Hamza who met us out and brought our stuff in. Thankfully we didn't have too much. We all had backpacks and one 20-kilo bag. So the check-in process, it wasn't difficult, and you can see we were the only ones there, so we got there at a really good time. And we had to fill in some forms for each of us, like our flight number, our seat number, and here we had to pay our tourist tax, which was 277 dirhams for 2 adults, and I'll break that down how they've calculated it. So that's us going to room 4. At this point we were really overwhelmed about the size of this hotel. It's on 20 hectares of land, so this map gives you an idea of how big it is. So you can see where the reception is, building 11, and we were room 4 where I've started, and we had to walk all the way down to 21 for the restaurant and 20 for the minibar. And you can see on the screen as well with the spa, and we're right next to the aqua park, so it gives you an idea of the scale of the hotel. But the grounds are so beautiful, so well maintained. I've never seen a hotel like this. Beautiful palm trees, beautiful flowers, and like sometimes at night you can smell jasmine, you can smell beautiful flowers. So it wasn't horrendous, you didn't really feel it. Obviously it was hot, sometimes it is tiring walking, but in a way when you're eating so much and then sitting, you're kind of almost digesting your food as well. So it wasn't too much of a hardship. In the heat it can get a bit difficult, but we really enjoyed it. It was one of the most amazing, well maintained hotel gardens we've ever seen. And as we got dropped off in a golf buggy, if you have any mobility issues, I think if you contact the reception or even make them aware, I'm sure they would do something for you in terms of pick and drop if you are struggling to do the walking. So as we were just first arriving, we got the golf buggy because we had our stuff, and Hamza took us right to our building. And when we got there we were really overwhelmed about where our restaurant was. Or Hamza told Wakar, because he was sitting at the front, he was showing him where the entertainment is, where the bar is, where the restaurant is, but we just couldn't work it out. And then when we actually got to the hotel, we kind of freshened up and then we went to go and get food. It was pitch dark, so we were kind of walking around in circles. And here it looks like quite a long journey, but actually when you actually do the walk, it's not as bad as you think. And I'll show you that journey from our hotel room to the restaurant in one of the next clips. So it was really good that we got this because we were so fatigued, so tired from the journey, and it was a really nice temperature at this time, but had it been during the day it would have been really hot. And then with the kids you need sometimes a wee bit of extra help. And you can see here how clean and tidy and beautiful the gardens are. It makes all the difference. So we're in building 4 right next to the aqua park, and we were on the 2nd floor, room number 8. And we'll go in and give you an idea of what it was like. The air conditioning was fantastic in this room. So we've got a separate toilet, separate shower area, no bathtub, and one bed for me and Wakar, and then one bed each for each of the kids, which was so comfortable for the kids. And the most beautiful view outside the balcony, and it actually showed you the garden views, but they were so pretty. It was so pretty looking out there sometimes and sitting, and the sun faced directly into our balcony, so when we were drying clothes, it just didn't take long when we washed clothes and dried them, or even drying our swimming clothes. Hotel room has a fridge, but it's not stocked. If you want anything, you just have to go into the bar or the restaurant for food. So here we are at the restaurant. Look at the size of this fish. So I just wanted to put in some of the food clips to give you an idea of the variety. There are some things that will always be the same, like chips, chicken nuggets, plain pasta for people that just like their comfort, and there's like a huge salad bar. But then daily there is different things like lamb stews or boiled rice or stir fries. And these are the self-dispensed drinks as well, so you just help yourself. They don't give it to you, they give it to you in small glasses, so you have to keep going up. And this is the fruit and dessert area, and you have to just tell them what you want. You can't help yourself with these. And on the other side there's usually ice cream. If it hadn't liked any of the cakes, you would love having an ice cream, and Ibrahim always liked an ice cream as well. So these cakes looked nicer than they were. Compared to the ones in Turkey, they were a lot better quality, I think a lot better tasting as well. Also, something worth mentioning, the Moroccan mint tea is only available in the mornings, not in the afternoons. So if you want mint tea, you have to go into the bar area, which I'll show you. So you can see this is 2 different days that we went. There's quite a lot of variety. You can try a number of things, and there's no limit or nobody stopping you. Other areas are basically you help yourself, whereas this area they have somebody manned to put things into a plate. I think kids can make a bit of a mess or maybe take too much, so that's where they step in. So they looked nicer than they actually were, but we did kind of overindulge on these things and give everything a good try. They were overall they were really good. The service was really good. This is what I'm talking about. On the other side there's a counter where you can get ice creams. So I've heard you can get ice creams during the day at the pool bar, but we never had a need to go there, and you have to pay extra for that, so that's not included in the all-inclusive. So we just stuck to our all-inclusive things, the meal times, which I will show you. Stuck to the meal times, and in between the meal times you can get snacks at the bar. So that was more than enough for us. I don't think we needed any more. Otherwise it was just going to be too much. And this is an example of the breakfast area. So there's no fizzy drinks here at this time. They've switched that off, and you can help yourself to hot drinks and coffee self-dispense, so nobody will bring that to you as well. And it was always standard, this kind of baked egg omelette, potatoes, these little turkey sausages. There's a whole cereal bar, yogurt with like honey and chocolate, and so there's always your standard stuff, and then they might have additions or something different daily in terms of variety. You can have a good look here of what kind of stuff they're offering. They always had these soups. They had this standard semolina soup, which was native to Morocco, which I personally needed, and none of us really liked it, so it wasn't really great, but we don't mind trying it. So you can see it's quite a big area to even walk around. It's not kind of condensed in one small area. There's 2 separate rooms where there's desserts and there's salad in the afternoon and evening, but in the morning the rooms, one of them has like cereal and yogurts, and the other one, I don't think they have cakes in it. I can't even recall what the other room has, but this gives you an idea of what kind of foods to expect. These are like Moroccan crepes, and they're like kind of turkey little patties they're making. They do some things that are live cooking. Outside you can get omelettes. We never really went outside. And so this is just to give you an idea of the foods that are available. And this is the Moroccan mint tea. I loved how they present this. So you can only get this in the morning. You can get sugar free or without sugar, or sorry, sugar-free or with sugar. Just to show you, in the kitchen area there was a microwave there, so you can heat food up. And we're just going to go into the bar area now as well, in terms of the cereal bar. So you can see here there's like a self-milk dispenser, there's bowls, there's different types of cereal, and there's yogurts and sauces. Sometimes there's cheeses in here as well. So it gives you an idea of what to expect in terms of variety. There's plenty of variety, and you'll always find something that you can eat, even for fussy eaters. There is always something there, or they might just stick to the same thing, which you most likely will always find. There's all your different fruits and walnuts, and this area is a smoothie type area, so they blend it all up and they put it into the jugs and you just help yourself, and there's some fruit there at the end of the counter. So also what I think it's worth showing you the difference is in the lunch service as well. So what was the breakfast bar is now a salad bar, so that room is just all salad. And this is the kind of, they will tend to do something live like this, that freshly cooked those little kebabs, and this is the kind of stuff that we ate, which was absolutely fine. And there's always those stone baked, freshly baked pizzas, which are so nice, and there's usually something new being cooked, which everyone's queuing up for. This is almost like a paella type dish, and that's there in this big huge dish for you to serve yourself. And these are the alternative to chicken nuggets, the chicken strips, and these are traditional tagines right in the centre of the room. There's a kids area which only opened up on the last day. I don't know if you've seen it on the screen. These are the beautiful pizzas, they're really nice, freshly baked. I noticed a lot of changes when we left on our last day, so there was so many more people, so they're probably opening up more aspects to the restaurant or the hotel, so that's something to consider. And this is a better look at the salad bar. Sometimes they would have these like quiches, or like it's kind of like blended like fish kind of pate type dishes. They look nicer than I think they were, so I never really went for them. They smelled really strong. And there's the only sauces you can get here are tomato sauce, mayonnaise, and like a kind of chili paste. So us being from the UK and Asian Pakistani, we love a bit of spice. You don't really get that. It's very similar food to Turkey. This is us at lunchtime back at the dessert bar. So that's something to be mindful of if you want to bring your own sauces. And here is a view from our balcony on the next day when we had arrived, so during the day, to give you an idea of how pretty it was and calm. And there's loads of bird noises all the time, which we really loved. It felt like you're getting back to nature. It's not off-putting at all. It's really, really beautiful. And here are the beautiful orange trees which are scattered all over the grounds. I don't know if you can see them in this clip. And this is a route to the restaurant. And this is me speeded up. Oh, sorry, not the restaurant. That's to the swimming pool. And here's another morning route. This is a little bit longer. We kind of went straight ahead from our room, but if we just turned right and went right, it felt a bit quicker. So this is a little bit of a longer route going past reception. But if at the room you just turn right and then go straight, it takes you straight to the restaurant. So it gives you an idea in terms of if you've got mobility issues or a lot of walking kind of worries you, then it might not be the best, or even get lifts in the golf buggies. This is the bar area right next to the restaurant, so in between dinner service, lunch service, we just come here for a drink. You can again self-dispense coffees, teas, green teas. You can go to the bar for mocktails or any other drinks, and we would be here frequently if we're just not wanting to be in our room. This area wasn't air conditioned and the restaurant wasn't air conditioned, so it's something to be mindful of, that the whole building isn't completely air conditioned. Your bedroom, we had our air conditioning on all of the time, so we'd come back to our room and it would be really, really hot. At this bar there's a board where you can pick what mocktails you want, and also alcoholic cocktails, so it's good to have a visual look. We like the kind of aesthetic look. In Turkey you'd get a lot more variety of mocktails, or you could just tell them put these things in it, make us a mocktail, and they'd get something really nice together. So these seemed a little bit flung together. They were okay, not great, but can't complain when it's all inclusive. But you can also go self-dispense and get yourself a Pepsi or lemonade or green tea. So it's great that it's unlimited, and almost sometimes it's great that you don't have to ask anyone. I know you have to ask here, but if you're you can just take a glass and help yourself as much as you want. I think you feel less judged, you can just help yourself, and it helps you cool down. And I know we went in April, kind of very end of April for 1 week. It was really hot. There were some days where we had proper heat waves, and then it kind of cooled down. One evening it kind of rained very lightly and it was dull, but the humidity is still there, you know. So these drinks, or keeping our drinks up, really helped us get through it. And also this bar area, if I'll probably show you a wee clip, to the left hand side of where we were sitting, it faces the entertainment area, so it's all outdoor facing the stage. So in the evening that's where we come for entertainment. Unfortunately it was quite disappointing. It wasn't actual external people that they got in, it was their entertainment team that would be dressing up or doing different dance shows, and it just seemed a little bit all over the place. It's great, I'm not complaining about it, they worked really hard, but it just didn't seem to kind of go together, or sometimes people were walking, dancing in the opposite direction. So there's the outdoor area and the stage, that's where the evening entertainment is. And we didn't interact basically at all with the entertainment team. Despite even having kids, we really thought they would make more of an effort with our kids. And the day we went to Kids Club, there was nobody there. But even at Kids Club, they do different activities. So this is the Aqua Park right next to Building 4 where we stayed. So there's like a wave pool, and there's the big slides, and Ibby and Irha went to the kids play area, which they really liked. And Ibby stayed with Irha. He didn't go and do his own thing, he stayed with his sister and looked after her. And even this day it was so hot, I can't describe how hot it was, but we really made the most of it. Your holiday is what you make of it. I think you can look at the positives or look at the negatives. We're very positive. We kind of overall don't have anything bad to say about this place. It was super clean, the staff were really nice and pleasant and kind of made an effort with you, the ones that could kind of speak English. The only thing I would say is it's very geared to French people because it's Moroccan French. I think the cuisine and the language, when they're speaking on the entertainment stage, they're speaking in French, and then sometimes or often they'll kind of have to revert to English as well. But I think the thing is the majority of people that come are French, so maybe things are more catered for them. Towards the end of our holiday, on the last day when we were leaving, there was just an influx of people from the UK and Scotland, so there wasn't that many as much as I thought. But it's such a nice place to go. We've always been to Turkey. We've been to Turkey like 4 times, 1 time to Istanbul, the rest Antalya. We did really enjoy it, and it had everything that we needed, but this is a new place that we've discovered that we really like. So if you're thinking about it, I'd definitely consider it. Another thing that's worth saying is that these pools are cold water pools. There is supposed to be a heated calm pool, but it was not heated at all. But the thing is, in this heat, you actually don't mind it being cool. It did kind of cool you off. But we always kind of prefer heated pools. So that was the only thing that didn't actually happen. We went a couple of times to the heated pool, it was called the quiet pool as well, but it was just full of kids, and even these ones full of kids, and the main pool full of kids doing cannonballs and things. So it really depends what time of the year you go. If you don't want there to be a lot of kids or it to be really, really busy, that's something that you should consider. But with the aqua park, it will attract a lot more families. It didn't bother us, we just made the most of it. We were just in our own wee bubble doing our own thing, so we really enjoyed it, and the kids loved it as well. Right ahead you can see we're just walking towards the aqua park aspect of this pool, and right in front you can see the wave pool. So this only activates at certain times of the day where there's a board that shows you that. This is us at the main pool, which is also cold, but in this heat it was absolutely fine, and you can just try and get a lounger, which at certain times of the day it's really busy. These blue towels, you have to get a ticket from the reception, and if you lose it you have to pay I believe maybe £10. And this is where you would get your afternoon snack between 3 and 4, and you can see the birds there trying to eat our leftover sandwiches, so that's good to know as well. This is the shuttle bus that we were on, going to the market. There's only certain times that this is free, as you can see from here, and if you travel out with those times, it's 30 dirhams per person, and you have to pay this beforehand, and you can't deviate from the times that you pick, so if you're late, you'll have to pay it again. This bus was so hot, it was so excruciatingly hot, and there was no air conditioning, so that it was a real struggle this day, and it seemed to be the day that we went on was an absolute heat wave day. It was 40 plus. 40 plus when I checked it, and somebody at the market told me that it was 47 degrees and it was going to start to cool down towards the end of the week. We weren't given a map or anything, which would have been really helpful, but we had to work it out ourselves, and it was really stressful when we had to get back to the bus in time. We didn't manage to do any shopping. We got scammed with our fruit juices. We asked for mango and pineapple, and they gave us orange, so it must be because oranges are in abundance there. And I was a bit nervous about filming here because I've heard so many weird things about it, in terms of people start to demand money from you. In terms of entertainment, this is a foam party that we went to, which was really good fun, but then the kids got foam all over the place, so they just wanted to go, and we just went into the pool after that. So it was it was a very random event, you know. It was on the day that it was announced that there was going to be a foam party. There's boards, so like this, there's boards that are changed, and it tells you the different events that are happening, and the show, evening show, and if there's like Zumba, there's classes right next to the pool as well if you want to do the aqua fit. So there's lots to do. You're never bored. You can even just do your own thing and chill. There's no force to kind of participate in these things, but it's quite good that they are trying to do things to get everyone involved and everyone to kind of participate in different things. So it was really good. You know, there was things for the kids to do. There's things for me. Even in the kids club, they've got a board outside that tells you what day for the full week, what they're doing, if they're doing like glitter tattoos, if they're doing drawings. Unfortunately, the day that we went, there was nobody there. There was an outdoor play park, so, and because it was outdoor, it wasn't covered. It was really hot, and it was really hard for the kids to play in the intense heat, so we just kind of had a look around, and it was towards the end of our visit, so we didn't really go back. I'd like to have went back in the evening and let the kids play, because there was sand and like slide, and the slides were too hot in the heat. I just wanted to show you a sunset in Morocco, and this is the view in the evening, and you can see the orange trees and the beautiful greenery, and you can see people going around in their golf buggies or walking all over the grounds, and you know, it was just so beautiful. And at this time the temperature was a lot nicer as well. It was never cold, but in the evening it cooled down significantly, so when you're watching your entertainment you can enjoy it and you're not overheating. And this was on our second last night. I just felt so emotional. I just loved this holiday so much. I loved watching the sunset, and the palm trees are my favourite, so I love looking at the palm trees, and they're all over this hotel. It's 20 hectares of land, so it's a significant distance, and the fact that they well maintain it, it's so nice as well. I had read a lot of mixed reviews about the hotel, but I think it's one of those things you really need to understand if you're going to like it or not by going there yourself. So here I wanted to put in some footage of some of our entertainment. So the first night it was Bollywood, and when I seen Bollywood, I don't know why I assumed that they would get professionals in from outside, because they did all the background that morning, and I thought, you know, it'd be nice, but I felt like, and there was a girl there, Lily, to the right hand side. I don't really think she knew what she was doing, but otherwise, I mean, it was an amazing effort. The entertainment really tried to kind of put these events together, and it was these kind of dancing ones that they did. So they did like a Bollywood show, and they did an all around the world show, so different dances, and they had different costumes for other countries. So it was an amazing effort. I don't think I could do any better, but I guess that's their job, you know, that's what they have to focus on day and night, entertaining people. So it's a really, really hard job. So this is the kind of different countries that they were doing when they were doing the All Around the World show. This one was my favourite. I loved the music, and it was, I believe it was Turkish dancing they were doing. I cannot include the full music in these videos because of copyright issues. I do have a separate video that has all three of the entertainment nights fully on. So we didn't go every single night, just when it looked like something that might appeal to us, we would go. And there was some nights it was like karaoke and like couples nights where they're picking the best couple or white party. So some of it just didn't really appeal to us. And I guess they're trying to find something that fits everyone, but I love these kind of dance shows and they've put so much effort into it, so overall it was really good. This guy was amazing. He was a Michael Jackson. I actually thought they were going to do it in-house as well, but this guy was actually a Michael Jackson impersonator. He was so good at dancing and lip syncing, and the other guys from the entertainment team did all of his backing dancing, so they worked really hard to collaborate with him, and it was one of the best nights of entertainment. It was really good, and I tried to film as much of it as I could. And again, I have filmed this whole show. I've put it into a video with all three shows and one on its own with just this performance, but again, because of copyright claims, I just couldn't put the music in. So hope you can get an essence of what it was like. Overall, loved this holiday. I would love to go back. I had a great time, and it had everything that we needed to stay. If we needed to go out, we could do excursions. I've got a separate video on the excursion that we went on. And this is on our last day. I'm just appreciating the weather and the trees. This was on our last day as well, this scary praying mantis. Something I thought might be worth mentioning, so nothing to do with the hotel. On the way back, there was constant queuing. I think we stood for about 3 hours straight in different queues and security checks, probably a total of at least 5 before we actually made it on the plane. So again, if you have mobility issues or it's tiring, it is something that you should think about. So it can be really hard with kids. Ibrahim was really unwell on the journey back, so I didn't know if we'd actually make it on the plane or if he'd be well enough to travel. So just at the last day, he got really unwell, and I think it's just the mixture of heat and swimming and being hot and cold. And Ricard kept the air conditioning on in our room. I think that didn't help as well. And the last day we went swimming, we'd been really hot. We went into the pool and to cool down, and then we went to our hotel room. So I just think that a mixture of that, or maybe something that he's eaten, just didn't agree with him. So it's really hard to be unwell on a flight back. But we made it. It wasn't too much of a long flight. I believe it's like 3.5 hours and maybe 4 hours on the way back. I might be wrong, might be less than that. But the only thing, from where we live, Ryanair's the only airline that comes direct. Don't really like flying Ryanair. It is a bit tight, but otherwise good.